Why aren't you married, man? What's the deal?
Well, I did marry a gal from Russia.
Ah.
Yeah, in fact, we got married in St. Petersburg, and Tim was my best man.
How about it? Wow,
yeah.
Cool.
I brought her back on a spousal visa, and after 3 years, we split up. And I blame myself about 99% because at the time, I had no idea what the women were going through when they came to our country. I figured, oh boy, I'm in America, I'm happy. No, after a while they get bored unless you're there for them, and I wasn't there for her. I was working 5, 6, 7 days a week, 8, 12 hours a day. Wow, and after a couple of years she got bored and she got grumpy and I didn't understand it and it just fell apart.
You know, it's interesting. Thank you so much for your candidness on that. But I've said all along that the biggest challenge for couples when the women come to America is not what you would think. It is boredom. That is the biggest challenge. If they can't work necessarily right away, or if we're working so much, we've got to have time for them and with them. That's why they're here. They wanted to be with us. So lesson learned, you're okay, she's okay, I'm sure. You look great.
Oh, yeah.
You met a lot of fabulous people, and everything happens for a reason. We rarely see it in the moment, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So
my original thinking going over there is I was thinking I could meet a girl from St. Petersburg, and if she spoke English, I would ask her to show me her city. And they were more than happy to do that. I got to go to the Russian ballet. I got to go all over St. Petersburg. It was great.
Tell me about some of the dates that you've been on. You've met women in Russia, you've met women in Ukraine. What are some of the things that girls like to do on dates? Some of the things you've done.
One of the things that they really seem to enjoy is taking it to some of their beautiful parks and simply go for a walk in the park, stop and maybe have a little something to eat, you know, just enjoy the scenery. And then of course there are restaurants and nightclubs and ballet and museums, and just if you ask them to show me your city, they just light up, man, like, oh boy.
Isn't that great? So your impression of women who come to an agency like ours, what do you think their real motives are, their real reasons for being here?
I think the main reason they come is they're looking for a lifetime partner. But they know what they're looking for, and they're not just going to grab up anybody. They want to take time to get to know the guy and make sure he's the right guy. Because, you know, you've mentioned this a few times yourself, they're giving up a heck of a lot to marry a guy from another country and take off to the other country. So they want to take their time a little bit, you know, get to know you and that. So, but they're interested in finding a life mate. I'd say 85–90% of them.
And so what is romance like with the women from Ukraine and Russia? You've probably experienced a little bit of it.
Yeah, a little bit here and there. I've found that most of them, first up, they're easier to talk to than American women.
Easy to approach, easy to talk to.
Easy to approach, easy to talk to. Their expectations are not take me to the biggest, fanciest restaurant in town. They're happy going for a walk in the park or taking you to show you one of their museums or anything, you know. So it's, my impression is that they're a lot of fun to talk to. They're very approachable. I have met tons of women on the trip. And I've never had a bad experience at all.
Wow.
Not one.
Since 1999?
1999.
A few trips with us?
Yeah.
No bad experiences. Excellent.
Not a one.
What are your impressions of the socials themselves and why women come to the socials?
I think the main reason most of them come to the socials is they're hoping to get the opportunity to meet a guy. And it's difficult for them because there are so many women at the socials that if they have an opportunity, a guy comes over to talk to them, they're more than happy to start talking to you and get to know you because that's why they came there. You know, now, yeah, you guys have the champagne and you have all the food and everything there for them, but there are so many women that don't even get to talk to a guy that you have to have something for them too. You know, so you have the good eats. I know a lot of places you go, you actually have a floor show on for them. You have little contests that you do with them and everything. So you make it entertaining for the ladies. And that's why every time Foreign Fair goes in to have a social, they have a ton of women at those socials because the socials are fun for the guys and the gals.
What are some of your favorite places that you've been to?
My two favorite places right now are Poltava and Nikolaev. Because they're both kind of laid-back, easygoing cities with lots of beautiful women. Poltava, they call it the village city because I got to mention this. When I was traveling with you guys over to Poltava, you said that the hotel was right in the middle of town. And I'm on the bus, and we're pulling up within a block of the hotel, and I said, Foreign Affair lied to me for the very first time. This can't be the middle of the town. But it was. I mean, it looked like a big village, but everything was right there. It's right in the middle. It was incredible.
Yeah, sometimes those smaller cities that are a little bit out of the way have a little bit of mystery to them. They're not as well known as places like Kiev or Odessa, right?
Yeah.
But like Sumy and Kherson and Nikolaev, there are a lot of beautiful bored women there, and there's not a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
So when we show up, it's kind of a big deal, I guess. But
Yeah, my next thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go to Kharkov in April.
Cool.
So that'll be a fun trip. I've been online a little bit, and there are a ton of very beautiful women over there in my age group, which is important for me because I don't want to go with some, I'm not looking for a daughter, I'm looking for a wife.
Right.
So I am looking at age appropriate for me, and there's a ton of them in Kharkov.
Tons.
So it's a gold mine for me because everybody else is looking at the young chicks, and I'm interested in these ones. So I've got a wide field there.
I'm not going to tell you how old Don is. If I told you, you wouldn't believe me anyway. But he's Anthony Quinn. Let's just put it that way. So this dude never ages. He's amazing. Do you feel that you got kind of consistent service from Russia to Kiev to Odessa to the various places that you've been?
Every place I have been with you guys, your staff, if there was any kind of a problem, your staff took care of it. Last time in Kiev, when we didn't have enough room for all the luggage, I was telling the guys, just relax, AFA and the staff will take care of it, and pretty soon here comes this van, and all the luggage goes in the van, and away everybody goes. So it's just, and there was the same thing in St. Petersburg. The staff there, Tim, who was the manager of the St. Petersburg staff, he was great. Anna over there is fantastic. I mean, I haven't met anybody in any of your staff that wasn't extremely helpful, friendly, and smiling most of the time.
Except me. But anyway.
Well, you're an exception.
I smile eventually, right? So
Loving every minute of it.
Yeah, man, it's the only way to live, right?
Yeah.
So Kharkov is next.
Yep.
And you've got some very beautiful women in your sights. We'll do whatever we can to make sure that you have a good experience there. Very excited about that. I just want to say, Don, you have to be, I've met hundreds and hundreds of men. I'm incredibly thankful for you and comfortable with
thank
you.
you. Thank you.
We've spent some time together. You're one of the most humble, awesome guys that I've ever met. And I absolutely love what I do when I'm hanging out with men like you. I just like to think everything we do is for guys like you and some of the great women that we meet. So thanks for coming by today.
You know what? I love what you do, too.
Thank you, Don.
Okay,
More for
thank
you
you.
guys soon.